Hey, Steve Zalunardo here with RE-MAX Zalunardo and Associates. Happy Monday morning. Just a real quick update on the current market. Right now we're at 23,677 units, so we're down about 1,000 since last week. Sales are dipped just a bit, but we're still 823 units, so going quite well. Again, even as a business, as we were saying, we're in a real estate upcycle. A couple of weeks ago, we were actually starting to feel it now. Starting to have that impact of all that, the rate cuts that the Bank of Canada made in the last couple of months here. So we're starting to see things move, especially listings that have been stagnant for months on end, where we had no activity on them. Now they're starting to get activity, and we're starting to get offers in. Last week we had a great week. We sold 3 properties. Also, that the site that we have listed for Tribute, Gates of Nobleton, we've sold. That's actually moving quite well. Very happy with that, especially given the time. But Mike had a great meeting yesterday. Looks like he sold a 70-footer. We got another 80-footer sold. And then I just got a call now for another 80-footer. So remember, these are between sales of like $3 and $3.4 million. So they're not nothing to sneeze at. These are high pricing, clearly. And then one of the properties, because we had to do sort of like an addition to it, we added a loft to it, so another additional 12 to 1,500 square feet. That's going to be in the $4 million. So people are coming out and they're starting to buy. Obviously, they want to make sure that they're in before the market takes off. And like we mentioned too, like currently right now, you have an opportunity to sell first, see how much money you have in your hand, and then ultimately buy. At some point, that's going to flip roles where you're going to have to buy first and sell later, and that's the worst position any buyer can be in, because obviously they're banking on their property selling for X amount of dollars, but they've also already committed to a purchase price, which is, for me as a very conservative investor, it's very risky in my mind. But at the same time, a lot of people have done it. I've had to do it in the past too, when the hot markets, and we've did it. But if you have an opportunity now, sell first, cash in hand, and then buy. We have enough inventory that you make yourself make sure you buy the right product. This is an interesting article. What is the cheapest place to live in Ontario? So here it is. Top affordable cities in Ontario: Thunder Bay, average sales price of $200K. Rent $1,000 per month for a 1-bedroom. I don't even know why this says it's like a euro emblem. It's not a dollar. They must have made a mistake when they printed this, because this is a Canadian website. Thunder Bay, Windsor, $500K, $1,036 for rent on a 1-bedroom apartment. London, $481,000 with rent average of $1,400. Sudbury, they don't give us an actual amount here, and then Sault Ste. Marie. Smaller towns, Tillsonburg. This is interesting. Actually, one of my clients sold in Brampton and they moved to Tillsonburg. This is a great little area. These are small towns. I love small towns. I've always lived in a small town my entire life. I always enjoyed it. I intend to keep going small, because it's usually a better feel, more intimate, and at times a lot less traffic. But that's pretty much it for small towns. This article here, we're reading it. Right at this morning, rather. October inflation expected to show mild bump up despite longer term downward trend. So I think even November is going to be more of an uptick, and that's based on the oil going up a little bit since September. So September it was $65 a barrel. Now it's at $75 a barrel. So it's going to bring the prices up a little bit. But I read this portion of it, which is great. We're at the lowest inflation since February of 2021, which is obviously great. 22 was the height of it, so it looks like we're descending into where we need to be. But just remember, like, everything's based off of energy, and this is how your day-to-day lives are run, and why it's so costly the last couple of years. Just remember, like, a lot of the administrations around the world went very, very in one direction with this battery, crazy stuff like we're going to be combustion free and by 2030. Like, this is mental. Like, this is it's just, remember, a lot of people are making money off this, right? So, and it's not for us. This is not for the better of us, for the general public. This is obviously big corporations making a lot of money. Once you outlaw something, you enforce another one. You bought in low, or you've created it, you're going to make a shitload of money. So this is obviously on the back of us currently right now. And what that means is that what they tried with the wind failed. Solar failed, battery definitely failed. Just remember, like, just because your car doesn't emit any emissions out the rear, you got to think of how those minerals were gathered to build that battery, where that battery is going to be disposed of, and the value of these vehicles. Because once that battery goes, not like a motor, you can change an engine or you can repair it. Once that battery goes, the cells go, you got to replace it. What does it cost for replacement? Sometimes it's going to cost 3 to 4 times more the value of the vehicle than it's worth. So where's that car going? It's going to be in the dumpster. So clearly it's not a well thought out plan. People were in it to obviously make a lot of money. And if you look at the car manufacturers right now, they're suffering heavily, making heavy losses with their electrical battery programs currently right now. So that's failed. Also the windmills, terrible design. If you ever drove by a windmill farm, it's horrendous. They don't last long. They break down very frequently. Companies that actually manufacture them, they bankrupt. So usually if you buy one windmill today, that company may not be in business the next day. So you have to employ another company to kind of reverse engineer whatever is up, and usually they come down. The disposal cost of that, and then it makes very minimal electricity, so it's not a very good conduit for the future. And also, I heard that when they actually have them in the seas, in the ocean, it's actually disrupting a lot of the marine life, and a lot of whales are washing up the shore because it's giving them signals. It's probably disrupting, it's probably making them go crazy, and they're just committing suicide on the shorelines, and so that's not good. Solar. Not a good product, to be honest, currently right now, unless you live in obviously a sun-drenched state or country. The cost of it's just too much for the return on the investment, so it doesn't equal out. It doesn't make any sense. For example, we had an investment property up in Alliston. We bought that property with solar. And to be honest, obviously we didn't take on a lease, and we didn't pay $1 more for the property. We paid exactly market value for the property, and we got a $40,000-$50,000 premium, because that's what the homeowners paid for this solar. So about 40 to 50 grand. And to be honest, this was tied into the grid, which is great. This is the best way you want to do it, and it's free and clear, so it's going to start generating money for us right away. And it only made about $200 to $2,500 a year at best. Okay, so not like very beneficial, especially if you had to pay off the loan of $50,000. Like, it's going to take you, 20 years to pay off $50,000. By that time, you don't even know if you're going to be in that property. So clearly the next homeowner will get the benefit like we did. So again, the return on investment's not there. Also makes the house look very ugly, no joke. It's in the back of the house has this massive amount of like electrical wires coming down with different shut-offs and stuff like that. It looked terrible. Plus the house looks terrible. Tesla's got a right idea with it. They're making shingles that the solar panel shingles, so it looks like they'll mimic an actual shingle. They'll be installed like a shingle. I think that's the best route to go forward, hopefully. It's just the cost associated with it. When they can get that price down to like 10 to 15K per roof, similar to a shingle, I think that'll be the way to go, clearly, because even if it generates $1,000 a year of income, or takes your bills down $1,000 a year, $2,000 a year, it's going to be beneficial because of the price. If it's similar to a shingled roof, then why not? I would go that direction. And to be honest, it mimics a shingle, so it doesn't make the house look ugly. This is talking about energy here. If you've watched South of the Border, Trump's campaign, one of the main topics he was going on was drilling. This is bringing back energy to the U.S. and North America, clearly. And this directly benefits Canada, because obviously if they can reopen up that Keystone pipeline, this obviously gives wealth back to Canada, to America. Then we can sell the oil across the border, or across the Atlantic to the Europe countries that don't have any oil. So this is very beneficial for us right now, especially on both sides of the border. I know environmentalists are cringing, but this is the only way we have. Until they come up with a better solution, this is the only way we're going to do. And we shouldn't, as the general populace, have to take on bullshit from these big corporations trying to capitalize on money and making us suffer while they're trying to capitalize. Like, they got to come up with a seamless plan where if battery was the right solution and it was seamless and didn't pollute as much as oil, then they should have had that as a seamless transition, instead of what we just experienced the last 4 years. And not just in America with the Democratic, the liberal government here, but also in Canada. Like, it's almost like they're communicating in every country in the same. And now if you kind of look worldwide, a lot of countries have rejected all the left policies, and now everyone's going right wing. So we're going to see a different type of world in the next 4 years. Very beneficial for us and our children, to be honest, because again, if they're going to be pumping or drilling and creating a lot of volume in oil, that means energy costs go down. Energy costs go down, that means everything goes down. Cost of living goes down. Groceries go down, everything goes down in total. What does that do? Puts more money in our pocket. We can make better investments. We can, prepare for retirement better. So this is going to give us a breath of fresh air, hopefully, not during this next 4 years, but even after that, which would be great. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions regarding real estate, please reach out. We'd be happy to take your calls at any time. Have a great day.